Update. Am I the a-hole for refusing to help my sister after she didn't show up for my wedding? Original post. So my 29 female sister, 27 female, and I have always been pretty close. Or so I thought. Last year, I got married to the love of my life, and we had a small intimate wedding. My sister was supposed to be my maid of honor, but she never showed up. No call, no text, nothing. I was devastated, but I tried to focus on the day and not let it ruin things. Later, she explained that she had a panic attack and couldn't handle the pressure. I understood and tried to be supportive, but it still hurt that she didn't even try to let me know. Fast forward to now, my sister is pregnant and recently asked me for help, both financially and with planning her baby shower. She's in a tough spot, but I do feel bad for her, but I'm still hurting about the wedding. I told her that I am not in a position to help her right now, and she got really upset, saying that I'm being selfish and holding a grudge. Now, my family's divided. Some say I should let it go and support her, while others think it's fair for me to be upset. So, am I the a-hole for refusing to help her? Now for the top comments before reading the update. I'm sorry, panic attack or not, who doesn't turn up or even let the bride know they're not going to turn up? At a wedding of a sibling. Not a-hole. I wouldn't be helping her with anything. I'd love to help you with your baby, but I don't think I can handle the pressure. I'm sure you understand. Exactly. There's literally no excuse at all for not even sending an apology text message as a bare minimum. OP, not a-hole. Honestly, I would be 100% petty and never help her again, purely because of how she handled it. You've already given her a reason and apologized, which is a lot more than she gave you. You're wholly entitled to being angry. Siblings often forget they need to uphold their end of being there when they need you to be there. And instead of showing contrition, she goes on the attack of accusations. I don't think she's sorry for missing your wedding. I think she was jealous and wanted to ruin your day, so she just didn't show up. I wouldn't give her anything, least of all your time and money. Not the a-hole. She is accusatory when she should be contrite and conciliatory. Speaks very loudly as to her thought process and entitled attitude. Can we get more details on her? Why is it her baby daddy helping more with the cost? In-laws, her parents. Why does it fall to you? On top of that, you're now married. So questions about financial help to other people such as loans or financial gifts are now joint decisions for the household, not just one sister to another. If Opie wanted to be extra petty, she could plan a shower and then just not attend. But if you don't have the funds to help someone, they should not throw a fit over it. Sister sounds horribly entitled. Now for the update. Thank you all for your thoughtful advice and support. I'd like to provide a detailed update on the situation and the recent developments. After much reflection, I decided to address the issue directly with my sister. I arranged a meeting with her, aiming to have an honest and open discussion about her absence from my wedding. I felt it was important to articulate how deeply her actions affected me, particularly since she was supposed to be my maid of honor. During our conversation, I started expressing how hurt and disappointed I was by her not showing up and not even attempting to contact me on the day of the wedding. I told her that her absence, especially given her role, was devastating and made a significant impact on my special day. I stressed that her lack of communication made the situation even more painful. My sister's reaction was quite defensive. Instead of acknowledging the hurt she caused, she focused heavily on her panic attack. She claimed that her mental health crisis was so overwhelming that she couldn't manage to reach out, and she expected this to be sufficient justification for her absence. She repeatedly said that I should understand how debilitating her condition was, and suggested that I was being unreasonable for holding on to my feelings. I tried to explain that while I understood she was dealing with a serious issue, the lack of communication and the absence on a major day in my life left me feeling abandoned and unsupported. I emphasized that acknowledging the impact of her actions was crucial for moving forward and rebuilding our relationship. The conversation took a frustrating turn when my sister shifted focus to her current struggles. She is pregnant and dealing with financial difficulties, which she attributes to her baby daddy's lack of involvement. She asked for my help with her baby shower and financial support, framing it as a dire need given her challenging circumstances. It became apparent that she was relying heavily on others to make up for her baby daddy's shortcomings. When I mentioned that I wasn't in a position to help financially or with a baby shower, she became upset and accused me of being unsupportive and selfish. She argued that my refusal to help, given her current situation, was further evidence of me holding a grudge. She suggested that families should come together in times of need, even if past grievances haven't fully been resolved. Throughout the discussion, my sister's approach felt dismissive. She seemed to believe that her current struggles should overshadow the past issues, and that I should put my feelings aside to support her. Her defensiveness and lack of genuine remorse made it difficult to see a path forward, where both of our concerns could be addressed. My parents, who are informed about the situation, have been urging me to be more forgiving and supportive. They believe that families should come together, especially in difficult times. Their perspective has been challenging, as it feels like they're minimizing my own hurt and focusing primarily on my sister's current needs. My husband has been a key source of support. He agrees with my decision to maintain boundaries and not provide support under the current circumstances. He feels that while empathy is important, my sister's failure to take responsibility and her tendency to blame others makes it difficult to justify helping her. In summary, I've decided to stand by my decision not to help with a baby shower or provide financial assistance. My sister's lack of genuine acknowledgement of her past actions and her tendency to deflect blame have solidified my choice. My family remains divided, with some members feeling I should be more supportive and others understanding my need to protect my emotional well-being. Navigating this situation has been emotionally taxing, but I'm focusing on maintaining clear boundaries and ensuring my own needs are met. I hope that over time, my sister may come to understand the impact of her actions and that we might be able to rebuild our relationship. Thank you again for your support and advice. She suggested family should come in time of need. So if that's true, how come that didn't apply to her during your wedding? I have a hard time believing OP's sister would have that stance if the roles were reversed. Glad OP stuck to her guns. I agree. Notice how family always tell the victim to be the bigger person? It's such BS. I love these people who think we need to move past their crappy behavior and just get over it, while never acknowledging that while perhaps unintended, their crappy behavior nonetheless left us with feelings that cannot always just be let go. She didn't even give you the courtesy of a phone call, and now you're just supposed to forgive all? Has she even said the words, "I'm sorry"? The axis forgets what the tree remembers. I'm glad you stuck to your guns, and I'm sorry your sister couldn't just apologize so you could all move forward. My little sister and me were super close, best friends, as kids. I always had her back and would argue with my mother constantly about being a knob to her, even though I was the scapegoat and got it much worse. It was like us against the world. As adults, I paid her rent, bought her food, shopping, and met her after work every day. Even supported their weed habit at times when her and her fellow were struggling as a couple and financially for a long time, at the detriment of my own finances and relationship. I was 100% sure that she would do the same for me. I just never needed her help really, because I had my act together mostly, and I always thought we would be close. Then I got pregnant. I couldn't smoke weed or go out anymore. I needed her probably for the first time in my life. Not majorly, not financially or physically, but just for moral support as I was sick and my mental health was crap. I just wanted my sister to hang out with me. She just couldn't handle being there for me when I wasn't the life and soul of the party anymore. I was shaken up for ages over it. It was like she just changed towards me completely. I don't know if any of this resonated with your situation, but sometimes it's an unfortunate reality that we can do everything for some people and believe those sacrifices are contributing to a strong bond. But only one side is invested in the other person wholly, and not just for the benefits. Your sister sounds like she likes the benefits of your relationship, but can't fathom a situation where your feelings come first, even on your wedding day. I would feel awful enough about not turning up. I can't imagine not even letting you know and apologizing profusely. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister that my kids won't ever be allowed to sleep at her house if she marries her fiancé? My sister, 27 female, met a guy almost 2 months ago on a dating app. Within their first phone conversation, he told her that he served 12 years in jail for a murder that he committed when he was 18, and he's been out of jail for 3 years. Apparently, the story he initially told her is that him and his friends were trying to rob a guy, and it went wrong, and they ended up unaliving him. She told me and one of her friends immediately after their phone conversation. So we searched his name and found the articles and court documents and were horrified with the actual details of the crime. We told her she should stop talking to him and she agreed. Fast forward a few weeks after that, she tells us that she's still talking to him and they want to get married and are planning their wedding. She said she confronted him about the information we found online pertaining his crime, and he was brutally honest and came clean about everything. He told her it was a mistake he made when he was young and he has since turned to God and lives a completely different life now. She said that their connection is so strong and nobody gets her like he does. And he's been helping her become a more religious person as well. She said that on their second date, he took her to a jewelry store and they are already looking at wedding venues and apartments. I let her know that I didn't think she should talk to him, let alone marry him, and I didn't support her actions. Her friend agreed as well. After I voiced my opinion, I noticed that she stopped telling me anything regarding her relationship. My sister and I are very, very close and tell each other everything. Her and I had a conversation about a week later in which she confronted me about my disapproval and said she doesn't think I'm being a supportive sister. I told her that it all seems so fast and that I don't understand how she even got to the point of marriage so fast with someone she just met. I told her how her decision would affect the dynamic of our relationship and I would be uncomfortable to let my 2 young daughters to go to their house or have any sleepovers considering his violent past. She told me I was judgmental and I should understand that people make mistakes and grow from them. She ended up telling our younger brother that she was really hurt about what I said. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want my kid staying the night with someone she's only known a few months, even if he didn't have a criminal history. Criminal history isn't strong enough. The man is a murderer. Yes, plus he initially lied about the circumstance. Opie can reassure her sister that her love for her is as strong as ever, but that the extreme violence in the soon-to-be brother-in-law's past is a deal-breaker as far as ever being a trusted caretaker. If the brother-in-law has truly turned to God, he surely understands Opie's position. My thought is that based on the sister's overwhelming and swift submission to the fiancé, he has thoroughly manipulated her. Opie and the rest of the family might do well to watch for psych personality disorder symptoms in the fiancé. The guy seems like a classic narcissist. Tell her to wait until after their first big argument to move in together just to see how it goes. I was literally coming to say the same thing. Opie, definitely not the a-hole, but I would try to convince her that she needs to see his bad side before she finds herself trapped. Go on a weekend trip that requires using various forms of public transportation. Go to a loud, crazy concert, anything that could trigger anxiety in even the calmest people. See how he handles himself then. Not a-hole. You are doing what any good parent would do, protecting your kids. Going from meeting to planning a wedding, moving in together, etc. after 2 months is a giant red flag, whether there's a criminal involved or not. And I wouldn't be comfortable leaving my kids in the presence of anyone who makes decisions like that, him or her. Came to say the same. Sounds like he is love-bombing her. Convicted for her aside. Sounds weird even saying that. He is definitely telling her everything she wants to hear. And for me anyway, the finding God part of it is even a bigger red flag. My DA told me that's how they know people are really guilty, is when they have the conversion as if it erases what they did. Last story. Am I the a-hole for calling the police on my twin sister after she took out a loan in my name? So here's the situation. My twin sister and I, both female 21, have always been super close. We shared everything growing up. Clothes, friends, secrets. I thought we had a type of bond where we could trust each other completely. But recently, something happened that has completely shaken that trust. A few months ago, I started noticing strange charges in my credit card statements and emails about a loan application that I never filled out. At first, I thought it was a mistake or maybe identity theft. I was really freaked out because I've been trying to build my credit to move out and start my life independently. After digging into it, I discovered that the loan was taken out in my name and the payments hadn't been made in months. I was confused, hurt, and scared. My credit score tanked, and I started receiving calls from debt collectors. It was a nightmare. I confronted my sister about it, and after some back and forth, she admitted that she took out a loan in my name. She said she was in a tough spot financially and didn't think it would be a big deal. She promised she'd pay it back, but she hadn't made any payments yet and didn't seem to have a plan to start. I was devastated. My financial future was on the line, and I felt completely betrayed by the person I trusted most in the world. I tried to stay calm and work it out with her, but she kept brushing it off, saying it wasn't that big of a deal and that I was overreacting. Eventually, I realized that she wasn't taking responsibility for what she did, and I didn't see any other way out. I called the police and reported her for identity theft. She was arrested, and now the whole family's in chaos. My parents are furious with me, saying I should have handled it within the family and not gone to the authorities. My sister isn't speaking to me, and everyone's treating me like the villain. I feel terrible for what happened, but I don't know what else I could have done. My credit is still ruined, and I'm struggling to get my finances back on track. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for calling the police on my twin sister after she took out a loan in my name and refused to pay it back? You tried to handle it within the family and she dismissed you. She clearly didn't care about you at all and was only worried about herself. She also committed a crime. She wouldn't be in the situation she is in if she hadn't have done something illegal, and now she's meeting the consequences of her actions. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole, and that's exactly what needed to happen. This is her fault, not yours. You are the victim here, and there has to be consequences to her actions. This would have happened again the next time she got in a financial bind if there hadn't been consequences. Maybe she will have learned everything has consequences, good and bad, depending on the choices you make. Yes, she tried to solve it within the family first, but the sister refused to, and this is the only way to fix this. I am dealing with this within my own family right now. There is a member of the family who stole someone else's identity and ran up a bunch of credit cards in their name. The amounts are quite large, and it's an incredibly serious crime. There will be jail time attached. The victim in this feels so guilty because they don't want to send their family member to prison. The family member has given them no choice. Judgments like that remain on your credit, and your credit cannot start to heal until they are gone. The damage remains for 7 years afterwards and will affect everything. From the interest rates you get to whether or not you can run an apartment or get a car. It shouldn't, but it can also affect your hireability. Employers check it. OP, your twin decided to do life-destroying things to you, and she knows how serious it is. She did it under the belief that because the consequences were so great, you wouldn't inflict them on her. If they want so badly for it to be worked out within the family, then they should all pay her debts off right away to avoid this going any further. Yet somehow, I doubt they will do that.